A really special story just a week before Christmas.
A missing ID bracelet reunited with the family of a World War II veteran after it was lost more than 75 years ago. Lee Peck was there as the veteran's son received the bracelet from two brothers who found it on the beach in Key West.
Lee, this is just an amazing story. A lot of twists and turns here.
Oh yeah, Byron and Lenise, and one with a very happy and emotional ending, all because two brothers never gave up on solving the mystery.
It's a special lunch at Catalina's in Bayou La Battery for all parties involved.
You gotta be Eddie Shaw.
That's me. Glad to finally meet you.
Fine to meet you after all these years. This must be your wife.
Mary.
Mary.
Nice to meet you.
Another.
This story begins in Key West, 1953. Jerry and Jimmy Simmons were 7 and 10 years old.
We were swimming, playing around, and Jimmy went underwater and came up with a handful of sand. And we were digging for shells and stuff, and he had a bracelet in his hand.
The ID bracelet had the name Edward J. Shaw and his military service number on one side, and the message, Daddy, from Eddie and Mary on the other.
You know, it was like, to kids, it was like a little treasure, you know, it was exciting.
The boy's father was a shrimper and would move the family to Mobile the next year. The bracelet would sit in their mother's jewelry box until her death in 2004.
And we found that bracelet again. We decided to try to research to find out who it belonged to.
They wouldn't get far. The bracelet was stolen a short time later along with his wife's jewelry box, or so he thought.
About 6 weeks ago, I was in at my desk by my computer, and I looked down in the bottom. I was looking for something else, and I happened to find that bracelet, and I pulled it out, and I says, I can't believe I thought for certain this bracelet was stolen. So I called Jimmy and told him about it, and kind of blew his mind. He says, when did you find it? And I says, I just found it.
15 years later, the search was back on. With the service number on the bracelet, they were able to get Edward J. Shaw's military records. Included was a picture.
It said, it told where he was born, which was Mobile, Mobile, Alabama. I said, my gosh, is this a coincidence or what?
Shaw had passed away, but they were able to track down his son Eddie, who now lives in Laurel, Mississippi.
When he had called me, I was kind of skeptical.
Still, he was intrigued by the story.
The ship he was on, the USS LST.
Getting out his dad's Navy diary, it tells of a stop in Guantanamo Bay in 1944.
And I figured, being that close to Key West, they had maybe come to Key West for some reason or another. And knowing my dad, the way he liked to drink beer, him and his buddies probably had at a party on Key West somewhere. And that's probably where the bracelet had came from.
Why don't you give it to him since you plucked it out of the Atlantic?
Dug it out of the sand.
They figured the bracelet was underwater for 9 years before they found it.
1944.
Yeah, right.
Ed, just a little boy, when his mom gave it to his dad as a birthday present, is the last one alive with a connection to the bracelet.
It was like reaching into the past. It's a really amazing story. I was really amazed. I was sitting here listening to them tell that story. Excuse me. And it kind of brings tears to my eyes because I was overwhelmed. But I'm really glad to finally get it.
An early Christmas present he'll certainly treasure, along with new friends.
Great meeting you.
You too, buddy. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
We'll keep it.
Finally got it back.
And there's so much more to this story. All of them, though, can't get over that growing up, they all lived here in Mobile County, just 15 minutes apart. Ed's mother even working at Bailey's Seafood on DIP, where the brothers ate on a regular basis.